City of Buffalo, Honorable Byron Brown, Mayor. Three and a half hours late. Not by your fault, but mine.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you all okay? Anybody need a stretch break? Water?
We'll be okay in 3 weeks.
Senate Finance Chair Catherine Young, Assembly Ways and Means Chair Herman D. Farrell, Jr., members of the legislature, thank you for the opportunity to address you regarding New York State's 2016-17 budget and its impact on New York State's second largest city, Buffalo, New York. Since becoming mayor, my focus has been on improving the fiscal outlook of Buffalo, creating a stronger business environment that is attracting investment and jobs, and has established a more efficient government. While there are still challenges, our efforts have produced positive results. For example, we created a rainy day fund. We implemented dozens of efficiency measures. We've delivered 10 on-time, balanced budgets. It's been 4 years since Buffalo's control board shifted to an advisory panel. The City of Buffalo has improved its bond ratings with the big three credit rating agencies, receiving an A+ from both Standard & Poor's and Fitch, and an A1 from Moody's. We are continuing to keep costs down. We are on track to generate about $3.5 million in annual revenue now that our new traffic adjudication system is in place, along with a new plea by mail system, which will also make the streets of our city safer. I want to thank you, the members of the legislature, for your support in passing this very important initiative for the City of Buffalo. Collective bargaining agreements are also saving us money as a result of provisions like self-insured health care and a new prescription drug plan. We've negotiated residency requirements for firefighters and for police officers. In the past 2.5 years, we've successfully negotiated contracts with our major unions, including police and fire. We've created the BPD 21C Police Academy Pre-Employment Scholarship Program. That's Buffalo Police Department 21st Century Program, which will get new police officers on the streets quicker, save the city money during training, and create a police force that better reflects the demographics of our community. The program is a first of its kind in the nation. Buffalo's new Green Code was recently delivered to the Buffalo City Council for approval. The Green Code will overhaul the city's zoning and land use planning for the first time in 63 years. It is designed to simplify the complicated zoning process, making it easier for homeowners, developers, and small business owners to invest in the city. We have enhanced public services by installing GPS in many city vehicles, including snowplows, garbage trucks, and police cars. The entire Buffalo Fire and Buffalo Police vehicle fleet has been modernized, and we're in the process of installing LED streetlights along many thoroughfares, business districts, and city-owned parking ramps as part of an energy efficiency plan that will save us money. Today, the City of Buffalo is in its best financial condition in decades. Governor Cuomo and the state legislature have been true partners in Buffalo's renaissance. This year's executive budget proposal makes important investments. I am particularly pleased by the proposed $2.1 billion school aid increase that will allow the state to eliminate the outstanding $434 million gap elimination adjustment over 2 years, and to provide an operating increase to every school district in the state, as well as the governor's commitment to rebuilding and modernizing bridges, broadband networks, public buildings, and other critical infrastructure in upstate New York. However, we in Buffalo, as I'm sure the other upstate cities, still have concerns. The city of Buffalo is looking to protect the progress we have made and add tools that will allow our city to reach its full potential. Since I took office in 2006, the city of Buffalo has considerably reduced property taxes. Our steadfast commitment to making the difficult decisions has stimulated growth, but we still have to close a significant budget gap for the upcoming fiscal year, which threatens our city's ability to continue its progress. The city's exploration of alternatives to property tax increases is critical because Buffalo seeks to continue the positive momentum, excitement, and energy which has been amplified by the governor's Buffalo Billion, Startup New York, and other successful development initiatives that the members of the state legislature have supported. The city needs some assistance to maintain our fiscally responsible growth strategy. We have 4 requests. We are working to build a public works campus. Attracting businesses and residents requires public works that provide for safe and efficient travel, clean streets and reliable services, and an investment in maintaining our infrastructure. Buffalo is now a thriving and vibrant place to live, work, and invest. Public works services need to be consistent and available at all times and in all weather conditions. The City of Buffalo has undertaken a study of 6 existing Department of Public Works facilities with the intent of creating a combined public works campus. The campus would house the city's municipal snow plowing, garbage collection, paving, and construction vehicles, as well as administrative offices, animal shelter, and auto impound. Consolidating these functions into one facility will reduce maintenance and staffing costs. The buildings will be LEED certified and incorporate solar panels and compressed natural gas filling stations. Construction of the Public Works campus will enable the city to sell 6 buildings which are in prime locations for investment. Phase 1 of the Public Works campus is estimated to cost $30 million. The proposed new Public Works campus will assist Buffalo's growth by adding to our city's resiliency. It will be a tool for improving the quality of life for our residents and will make the city more self-sufficient during major storm events, therefore allowing the state to direct more resources to surrounding municipalities. Car-sharing Main Street funding is a project that we have been working on since the beginning of my first term as mayor of the City of Buffalo. Another priority is continuing our plan to return cars to Main Street. Automobiles were removed from Main Street in downtown Buffalo over 33 years ago when the light rail rapid transit system was built. Metro Rail has been a benefit to Buffalo, but closing our premier downtown street to automobiles resulted in building vacancies, blight, lost property and tax revenue, and essentially killed retail in downtown Buffalo. The car-sharing Main Street project has begun to reverse these effects, generating significant economic benefits and transforming the heart of downtown Buffalo back into a thriving and vibrant destination. I am requesting funding for the next phase of the car-sharing Main Street project, which would be 2 major blocks in our downtown at a cost of $30 million. We estimate the total cost of completing this project to be $80 million. This project is a continuation of successful street projects implemented on the 700, 600, and 500 blocks of Main Street, totaling almost $60 million in improvements using a combination of funding from a 2011 federal Tiger grant, New York State, and the City of Buffalo. In addition, $22.5 million was recently awarded through a U.S. Department of Transportation Tiger grant and funds from the Dormitory Authority for the lower Main Street canal side block of our Main Street. Since 2012, significant private sector investment of close to $500 million has been made between the 700 blocks of Main Street and the edge of the waterfront at what we call Canal Side in Buffalo. Main Street is also developing into a healthy urban neighborhood that is attracting thousands of people who want to live and work in downtown Buffalo. We also have a need for Homeland Security funding. As you are well aware, emergencies can happen anytime and anywhere. Ensuring that our critical infrastructure and first responders are ready to meet any emergency or disaster is vital. In the past, the bulk of Buffalo's Homeland Security funding came from the federal government through the Urban Area Security Initiative, or UASI program. In 2011, Buffalo, Albany, Rochester, and Syracuse were removed from the UASI Tier 2 program. Even though funding ended, security risks and vulnerabilities remain. Buffalo City Hall opened in 1932. It is the tallest city hall in the nation. About 1,700 people are employed in this building, and we host more than 125,000 visitors annually. This iconic and highly visible government building was evaluated by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Protective Security Division and Field Operations Branch Assessment Group last year. Estimates for implementing the recommendations will cost the City of Buffalo approximately $1 million. And finally, we are seeking to close the utility services tax loophole. For decades, the cities of Buffalo, Rochester, and Yonkers have had the ability to collect a 3% tax on the gross receipts of local services provided by all utility companies, subject to the supervision of the New York State Public Service Commission, including phone companies. Technological improvements have resulted in widespread reliance on wireless communication, and wireless telecommunication service providers have successfully argued that they do not fall within the definition of a utility as prescribed in New York State tax law. New York State subsequently adopted tax law section 186E to impose an excise tax on the sale of telecommunication services by all providers, thereby maintaining the significant revenue stream originally provided by the tax on utility services. However, the telecommunications tax was not expanded to the local level except in the case of New York City and its surrounding counties. The City of Buffalo requests that New York State authorize municipalities to tax telecommunication service providers at the same rates municipalities are already permitted to tax the gross receipts of utility companies. With budget growth consistently under inflation, a significant reduction in our workforce, and compromises with our unions, The City of Buffalo has made tough choices and tightened its belt. It is critical for local aid such as AIM funding to be increased so that the city's fiscal recovery is assured into the future. Through hard work and careful planning, progress has been made in Buffalo. Together, we have worked to build a foundation for future growth and investment. We ask that the state legislature continues to be a partner in Buffalo's transformation. Thank you for your time, and I certainly wish you success in the budget deliberations ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Just first to speak, Mr. Magnarelli.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mayor, thank you very much. And on behalf of myself and my colleagues here, I really want to say thank you for waiting all this time to give your testimony this morning, or this afternoon now.
Getting close to evening.
Getting close to evening, that's right. And hopefully we can do something about it so it doesn't happen next year. We'll try, I promise you.
Thank you.
The governor in his budget has basically left AIM, the aid and incentives for municipalities, with no change. It's been that way for a number of years. At the same time, there's a number of other programs that he has put into place that have been there for a number of years. The Local Government Performance and Efficiency Program, the Local Government Efficiency Grants, Financial Restructuring Board, Municipal Restructuring and Transformational Grants, et cetera, et cetera. I'd just like to hear what you think about the AIM financing in the budget and what you think of these other projects.
Well, this is now my 11th year appearing before you as mayor of the city of Buffalo. I'm in my 4th three-year term, and every year I have appeared, I've spoken about the importance of AIM funding. AIM funding continues to be important to the city of Buffalo, and I'm sure you'll hear the same from the upstate mayor, other upstate mayors who are here to testify today. We have implemented a whole host of efficiency measures in the city of Buffalo, which have certainly helped us with our bottom line. We do plan on applying for the governor's program for efficiencies. We have some additional ideas where we believe that we can implement efficiencies, and we hope to be able to tap into the resources that are available for those efficiencies. We also hope to partner with other local governments. One of the ways that we think that we can partner with other local governments and potentially even the State Department of Transportation is with this public works campus that we seek to build. We believe that there are a number of efficiencies there and services that Buffalo provides now that it could potentially provide to other local municipalities in our region. So the programs that have laid out can certainly be beneficial to us that the governor has placed in his budget, but I have to say that I think AIM is important to local governments, to city governments, and certainly something that the city of Buffalo is asking for.
Just one other question. Some of the things that you've outlined here that you need additional funds for, Public Works Campus, Main Street, $30 million, $80 million, is any of that doable with the Buffalo Billion?
I don't believe any of those items are fully eligible for the Buffalo Billion. We have used some Buffalo Billion funds for the car-sharing Main Street project to reopen Main Street to vehicular traffic. Those would be included in the almost $60 million that we have already spent on that project. I mentioned that there has been a significant payback in terms of the private sector investment that we're seeing on Main Street as a result of being able to spend those federal, state, and local dollars. Some of these other projects that I've mentioned are not eligible for the Buffalo bill.
Are they eligible for the regional economic development monies?
Again, we have worked with the Regional Economic Development Council in the Western region to apply for funds for different things. We certainly will pursue funding through that source. It is a competitive process, as you know, and while we think competition is good and competition is a healthy thing, we also believe that these initiatives will give us the ability to be more efficient, to save money, to bring in more private sector revenue, and potentially to partner with other local governments in our region.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, and welcome, Mayor Brown. It's always great to see a former colleague, and I first of all want to say how thrilled people are in Western New York on the renewal, the rebirth of Buffalo. As you know, I get up there quite often. There's a real synergy and feeling in the air, and things are really turning the corner. So thank you for your leadership in all of those things, and the state certainly has been very happy to support all of your efforts in a very big way. And we're just hoping across all of Western New York that that same prosperity can spread to some of the more rural counties, such as the ones that I represent. I just wanted to quickly say thank you for your focus on getting rid of the gap elimination adjustment that has been a fiscal gimmick that has been very destructive to our schools. As you know, the Senate Republican Conference has led the charge to get rid of it once and for all. So thank you for your focus on that, because we really are pushing to have that happen in this year's budget. Certainly would help the schools in our districts, but schools all over New York State, schools in Buffalo. So thank you for your focus on education. I'd like to turn it over to Senator Kennedy. I believe he has some questions.
Yes. Thank you very much. Mayor, thanks for being here. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Senator.
Today. And most importantly, thank you for your leadership. And I'd like to echo our colleague, Senator Young's statement. Buffalo is on the move, and I believe that the partnership that your administration has created with the state has paid extraordinary dividends. And whether we're talking about the Buffalo Billion program or we're talking about other key strategic investments, including those that you bring to the table today, there's no question that the city of Buffalo is better off today than it's ever been. And continuing to build on that momentum, I think that you bring some very strategic points to the table today. Aside from these, I'd like you to just touch on a little bit the impact that the state investment and working with your administration has made on key economic drivers like the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus and Solar City. And I know you had already touched on car sharing Main Street, but there seems to be a real strategic focused momentum on a critical mass of development in the core of the city. Can you just touch on that and talk about your expanding efforts on that?
I sure can, Senator Kennedy. First of all, let me just say again to you and to the members of the legislature that are here, thank you for your support of Buffalo. The Western New York State Legislative Delegation, the Senate, the Assembly, the Governor, have all been very supportive of the needs of Buffalo, and I think we're seeing the impact of your support with significant economic development in our city. Solar City is a Buffalo Billion project. Solar City will be the largest solar panel manufacturing plant in the northeastern hemisphere. That's significant. It's expected to create 3,000 jobs for the residents of Buffalo and Western New York. It started out on a piece of land that was purchased by the city in 2008, a remediated brownfield. When I initially purchased it as mayor, people said I was crazy to do that. Years later, the state, through the governor's office, was able to negotiate to bring Solar City to Buffalo, and that purchase of that remediated brownfield land will now pay dividends to our community. Again, the state and all of you have participated in significantly investing in the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus, which is a center for health care in our city, in our region, a place where significant medical research is being done, where Roswell Park Cancer Institute is located, the first comprehensive cancer care facility in all of the United States of America. And right now, as we speak, there is over $800 million of investment on the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus, seeded by significant public sector investment, but certainly incredibly significant private sector investment taking place. That facility over the next few years is expected to employ over 21,000 people in Buffalo and Western New York. So it is not only a significant economic engine for Buffalo, it is a significant economic engine for the entire region. So I'm glad you asked that question, Senator, so that I could demonstrate how just two of the investments that all of you have supported are paying dividends in the city of Buffalo.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the key initiatives for this administration and my colleagues on the Democratic Conference has been enhancing opportunities for everyone, especially those folks that have been left behind in the past. And if you look at the numbers and the statistics, and the facts continue to demonstrate that there's a real disparity in hiring for women and minorities across the entire United States, but in every single community. And the governor's office has played a key role really in bringing this to the forefront. And I know, and again, in partnership with your administration, there has been some real key initiatives. Can you speak to those and what initiatives you're really leading the effort on in the state when it comes to women and minority hiring and enhancing that?
One major initiative that we have worked on with you, Senator Kennedy, and certainly Assemblywoman Crystal People-Stokes and Governor Cuomo directly and the Empire State Development Corporation is, again, the purchase of industrial land for economic development on the east side of Buffalo, which is in the heart of the African American community. Roughly 90% of the residents that live in that in that section of the city of Buffalo are African American. Unfortunately, that population has experienced a disproportionately high unemployment rate in our community. Those purchases will address that. But another major investment that will be made there is a comprehensive workforce training center, which will be built at a cost of about $40 million, and that will provide training for residents not only of the east side of Buffalo, the city of Buffalo, but for residents throughout the region to be able to take advantage of the employment opportunities that are coming online in our community, particularly in the high technology areas. Since 2012, there is nearly $6 billion of economic development activity that is ongoing in the city of Buffalo, and it's estimated that over the next 2 years, over 12,000 new jobs will be created in the city of Buffalo proper, which will benefit not just city of Buffalo residents, but residents throughout the Western New York region.
Thank you, Mayor. And there's also, I will point out, your opportunity pledge that I have signed.